Thunder Grunt.
Trevin, I don't want any more trouble like you had last year on the South Side. Understand? That's my policy.
Yes, well, when I see 5 widows dressed in togas stabbing a guy in the middle of the park in front of 100 people, I shoot the bastards. That's my policy.
That was a Shakespeare in the Park production of Julius Caesar. You moron. You killed 5 actors. Good ones.
In a small little ship in the center of Mars was a sack of souls with experiment scars. When the second of the monk said, "I'll take 2," and he put them in a rocket and he ate a lot of glue. And he shot them straight to Earth when they turned into babies. They were named Bob and Matt, and they rarely got rabies. And the monk made a movie of their whole entire lives. They were panoramic scenes and zooms of the thighs. One time Bob had sex with a ladle, and one time Matt lost a vet to a cradle, and another time Bob caught a dinosaur mom, and another time Matt bought a replica of Guam. And all this more is on a DVD set, only $20.99 with the purchase of a gym. But if you call right now and say, "Where's my whisk?" we'll include this bonus disc.
Hey, welcome to Bonus Disc. I'm your host, Bob Rose, with his other host, Matt P.A.
Hello.
And it's, with us is returning guest of the show, Curt Schmelz.
Number 1 guest of the show. Most guests of the show of all time.
Outside of Sean Jones.
That's
I
weird.
Think,
Oh, yeah.
I think Sean might win that,
Oh,
but
that's
he's
good.
the official friend of the show.
Yeah.
But if there was like a second friend of the show, I think it's Curt.
Official second friend. Thank you.
Official second friend of the show, Curt. How do you feel about that?
Great.
Are you okay? Do you need to go?
Yeah,
did
Kurt.
you just get back from rehab center?
No.
Okay.
Okay. This is a weird one because we were originally going to watch 2 short things, and one was Jungle Jim's grocery adventure or whatever it was. I don't know what it was called.
In the world of food, international food market.
Yeah,
or
the
whatever.
International Jungle Jim's Food Market
Yeah.
promo.
Duh.
It
Everyone knows
explained the
about it.
history of Jungle Jim's Food Market in where was it?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. And then we were going to find something
That's
else
why
short.
they said roof, I think. I
Roof.
think that's what they say
Yeah,
roof.
yeah.
I think
Roof.
that's a Cincinnati
They
thing.
wouldn't give us any
Well, that didn't
roofs.
happen. We watched
We couldn't have a roof.
we watched 5 minutes of it, and that was quite enough. It was not a narrative. It's just
Yeah,
a guy
it was not
talking
a
about his
narrative.
life.
And we
So-
sold more fruit.
Right.
Here's me throwing watermelon.
So instead, we watched a movie thing that was sort of in the same vein. It's educational.
Mhm.
From the point of view of the person making it.
Yes.
From the cult that we think
Right.
made it.
From the
Yeah.
cult. And it was called
Toughlove.
Toughlove, and it is from 1985. Matt actually got it on VHS.
Yeah, I found it at a flea market.
But since I'm lazy, I looked it up on YouTube, and I'm glad I did.
Oh my God!
Because if I didn't, we wouldn't have gotten the
It
experience.
was originally
hell
on
no.
TV, too, I think.
Yeah. Well, no, it's a TV movie.
Yeah.
It's a TV movie that is educational. It's supposed to help. It's said on the back of the VHS.
It's
It's
supposed
just
to
to
help
guide
parents
families through.
join cults.
Well, it didn't say that.
No,
It's
no.
just supposed to help families guide through hard times and depression and kids having troubled kids. And
Yeah.
stuff.
It
Like giving
seemed
them-
like it was for like a support group.
It seemed actually pretty innocent, and then you watch it, you're
Yeah.
like,
Oh my God, I love it.
something's wrong.
It's
Something's
great.
off. Right.
It's like made by Satanists or something. I'm not sure. It's awesome.
Yeah. Like it could have escalated at the end, and I wouldn't have been
Disciplinarians.
surprised. It could have went somewhere it didn't go.
I
But
felt like
we'll
you
get to
guys
that.
were mad at me when the movie started, and I was like, I know there's something about this. that
When it
makes
very
at
first
least-
started, it
Yeah.
started real slow and
Oh,
weird.
it's super
Yeah.
slow, man.
I felt like you guys were like, is this a mistake?
'Cause it
But
starts
I was
with
like,
a-
I know there's something in this. I remember
Well,
starts
being
with a
to be
cult
fair,
meeting.
that I didn't just throw
to
it
be
away.
fair, like the YouTube version is like the sound buzz
Oh,
is
yeah.
super bad, and it's got like fucking tracking issues.
Like Curt said,
Yeah.
you can like hear the VCR playing the movie. It's
Yeah.
weird.
yeah, yeah, right. It's not great, but if I didn't play that version,
We would not have got
And
dude,
commercials.
some of the greatest commercials I've ever
we got
seen.
commercials.
Oh, my
That's
God.
why. So let's start up. Let's talk about this fucking
Yeah. Mm.
TV movie thing that we watched.
Yeah, it's like basically it's like an after-school special with a Hollywood cast. It's
A
weird.
Hollywood cat. It's got Bruce Dern, Jason Patric,
It has that guy who's from MacGyver.
the guy from MacGyver, and it had that was the woman.
The woman, man, I can't remember her name.
Who she ended
was
up
in
being
a
on like
million
every TV show. Yeah.
She was on a million TV shows.
well,
She's
this
like
is, this
Dee
is
Dee
like
something.
not
Sorry, the movie encouraged you not to know anyone's name because all it does is go Bob, Rob, Gary,
yeah,
Steve.
Gary,
no one
there's
has
a
a
lot of
last
Gary.
fucking name.
no one has a last name, and
I can't remember.
and even though it's Bruce Dern, I mean his career is legendary, but Jason Patric, this is like what he did right before fucking Lost Boys.
Yep.
This movie.
Pretty weird.
The movie opens with the mom in a close-up talking to her group
Support group, yes.
about
it starts with
with Kristen's mom.
the tough love
Kristen.
meeting.
Yes.
Kristen's mom talking about all the terrible things her daughter does, how her daughter hates her,
Mm-hmm.
right? Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I-
No, it's like
She
I
steals
took-
her stuff. She's like, she steals my stuff
I
and
took
sells
notes.
it. She's
My notes are
violent.
extensive, so we're gonna go with this.
It's her just telling, like,
Yeah.
setting up, like, my daughter's a fucking wreck. She's doing drugs. She's not coming. I haven't seen her.
She pawned a gold necklace for
yeah.
drugs.
Yeah, she
Mhm.
hasn't been
Yeah.
home for, like, days.
Days.
And
yeah,
she's
yeah.
looking for her. And, like, everybody starts clapping at the end of it.
right.
They're like, you're so brave.
And, yeah, and then she, like, walks through the crowd.
So we
It's in
start
a
out.
church,
We
yeah.
start with the cult, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, then it goes to her. She gets that woman gets home, the one that we just met.
Yes.
Gets out of the car. She has groceries. She's like going in her house. Chrissy, where are you? Chrissy, the girl she was just talking
Mhm.
about.
Mhm.
No response. She goes upstairs.
My God.
Yeah, she goes upstairs.
Oh, wait, that's
Um,
what it was. She was describing how fucked her daughter was, but
Yeah.
she's been home. That's what it is. She's like,
Like she's home. Yeah.
She's like, it's been good. She's agreed, she should be home, and it's been going well. It's
there's
nice.
hope.
And she's like, I can at least sleep
Yeah.
at night knowing that I know where she is.
Right.
And then she gets home and she's not there.
Well, she checks the bed and
but there's
she
lumps.
puts-
pillows
in the
pillows have been
bed.
put under the sheets to fool her.
Yeah,
Right.
Mhm.
So I'm going by my notes.
that's right. Sorry.
That was very
Sorry.
nice of her to try and fool her mother.
She did a Ferris Bueller
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yep.
Very polite.
She's still out there being a fucking junkie.
Right. We're gonna hard cut to the dealership,
Yes, the car
Where-
dealership.
where Bruce Dern is buying his son, Jason Patric.
Gary.
Gary. Oh, Gary, the goofus of this movie's still on. And well, Scott is there
And
too.
Scott,
Scott is the
younger
is the
brother.
good one,
Yes.
and Gary's
He's the
trouble.
gallant.
Yeah. And what did I write down? They're buying a car that has 93,000 miles on it. I don't know why I wrote that down.
Bob, you wrote so many
Much
notes.
shit.
I have no idea why you wrote as much stuff down as you did.
I know. I did. I don't know why.
It's like 8 pages.
So
for like
his dad
free-
didn't want to buy him the car because it had so much mileage, and then he had to convince
He's
him.
like,
that
look, man, I just need it. He's
you
like,
don't
how
have
are
to
you gonna
drive me
pay
anywhere
for it?
anymore. Yeah.
He's like, all I need is a down payment. And he's like, what are you gonna? How are you gonna pay the rest? He's like, I'll get a job. And he's like, who's hiring? He's
I'll
like,
get a
I've
drug
looked
job,
into it,
Dad.
Huh?
I'll get a drug job, Dad.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, if you can look, all you have to do is get addicted to heroin. Figure out how you can have like $100 a day habit, and then quit heroin, and then you just made $700 a week. It's a great place.
It's a great
to start
plan.
From. It's a good place to start.
Great.
From.
This is all outside of the heroin plan.
Math doesn't
The
lie.
math doesn't
Matt
lie.
doesn't lie.
Scott Steiner School of Logic, man.
We learn in this scene that his dad is in fact an assistant principal, not a
at the school.
principal.
No.
Very important.
Yeah,
He's an
like, "No,
assistant."
if I was a real principal, I'd be buying a better car for my son.
That's
This is
true.
where he first sets up that Scott's better than
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
because he says something. He's like, I wonder if they'll buy me a car. They're like, they'll probably buy you a
Yacht
jet.
or
A
jet.
I think
yeah,
he says
jet.
a jet.
Yeah.
It's like, they'll probably buy you a fucking jet.
So like the kids know it,
yeah.
the dad knows it, everybody's aware who the fucking idiot is.
yeah, they're all like, yeah,
Scary.
he's getting the
Scary.
shitty car because he's the shitty son.
Right.
We get it, Scott.
So we cut back to their
It's
home.
not I thought it was a cool looking car.
Yeah, it's a fine
honestly.
looking
Sure.
car, yeah.
For a car you could drive in the 80s, it was pretty cool looking.
We cut back to home. We meet Gary's mom. She's preparing for the party.
Yes, it's a birthday party for Rob,
for
the dad.
The Rob the dad. I'm
what's
just gonna
his
call
name?
him Bruce Dern. 'cause
Yeah.
I don't
Bruce
want to-
Dern, fine.
Yeah, right. And then he tells her, hey, you know our idiot son? I bought him a car so he would stop killing himself with drugs. He doesn't say that, but she's concerned that he's going to use it to further his dalliances away from the house and everything, right?
What?
I think so.
She's concerned that she's going to have
She's
a
just
car.
like, he's a bad
like
kid.
You put fuel in the fire of Gary.
Yeah.
He's already a maniac, and you're going to give him
sorry.
freedom? You can't do that.
And she's like, and when he can't pay it, I'm not paying it. You are.
She's like,
says
don't
that.
come to me. Don't come for my checkbook when he misses his first payment. And then the dad's like, don't be such a pessimist.
Right.
I mean, he hasn't fully shown that he's a complete bag of shit yet,
Not
right?
yet. No.
That's
no.
true. Even though I feel like we're like an hour into the movie.
Oh my god!
Oh
Felt
my
so
God.
long.
So then we go to the boys' room. They're getting ready for the party for Dad, and they both basically like. I know Gary's like,
Gary's like, I
I
don't
don't want to do this.
And Scott's like, come on, man, it's a birthday.
At that
party, what's the
moment,
deal?
for some reason, when he said, I don't want to do this, I was like, maybe this movie's going to get really odd. Like, it's not just a normal birthday party. He's got to do something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no.
the whole thing has
Like
an
he's gonna
air
have
of
to do
odd to it.
Song and dance or something.
Or, like, sacrifice a lamb or something to his dad. Or, you know what I mean?
Sword fight him.
Right.
Some sort of wrestling match.
Stare into his dad's eyes while his mom has sex with him. Something weird,
Mm,
you know?
Weird. Yes.
So
Probably all those
that would be
things.
weird.
yeah. At the party, the parents. I wrote the parents talk about why Scott rules, and Gary is a fucking waste.
Yeah, he's just kind of like,
Yeah,
the
why
dad's like,
Gary
look, Gary will
drools.
come around.
They're talking to other people at the party, literally openly.
Mhm.
Yeah, other people are like,
It's
what's
like,
the deal with Gary?
Hey,
He's like,
how's your
look,
son?
you know,
That's an
he's
idiot.
just, you know,
Oh, he's a fucking idiot still.
well, he's just like, no, he's a kid. He's a kid. He's going through a phase. And then
I'm
people
an
are like,
assistant principal. I get kids.
Well,
I get it.
And that leads to him finding out that the principal at the school he's working at is retiring, and the guy's gonna recommend him.
Yeah, who the fuck was that guy? Was he like the superintendent?
I didn't
of
write down who
schools or
that guy
something?
was. The bald dude
Yeah,
that
the
worked
guy
there.
the guy
from
from
MacGyver. Yeah.
School man, yeah.
School man from MacGyver.
And then right after that, Gary steals that drink and goes back up to his room.
Dana Elcar is the man you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Dana Elcar.
Thank God we know
Edie
that.
Pfeiffer plays Kristen. And
Okay.
The mom's name is Jan.
Jan?
Jan.
Oh, I didn't
was
know
the
that.
mom's name.
all this notes, I didn't fucking.
I know you
okay.
didn't write anybody's fucking name down. Good job, Bob.
Oh man, taking notes on a movie is a mess. I don't recommend it to anyone listening. So Gary steals a drink. He goes back up to his room and he changes into a cooler jacket and he gets his weed.
Oh yeah, he grabs some weed.
Probably
man.
heroin's in that bag too. There's a
Smoking
bag
jacket.
of stuff.
It was. I think it just looked like rolling papers and weed.
Oh, okay.
It also
No,
didn't
I don't
look
think it
like
gets to,
weed.
like,
It looked
heroin.
like dried herbs.
I
It
love
was
this
weird
too.
looking.
He goes back downstairs and his dad's like, "Where are you going? What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm gonna
Oh.
go get ice cream."
Yeah, mom.
No, he said,
needed-
I know.
Mom-
He said, I'm getting your present. I
no,
forgot
first,
to get a gift
No,
wrap.
first
Oh,
he says,
I'm
Mom said, yeah,
I need to get
Dad,
ice
she
cream.
forgot some ice cream, so I'm going to get it. He's like, well, you need money? And he's like, no, I got it.
I
He's
got
like,
it.
Oh, okay.
And then
But then
she-
he turns around, and earlier when they were getting dressed, his brother talked about the new girl, Cindy, down the street
Right.
moved in, and she's
Mhm.
pretty cute.
right.
So she, like, blocks him from leaving, and they have the worst conversation I've ever heard. Totally shitty. And then that's when it cuts back to the dad, and he asks the mom about the ice cream, and she's
She
like,
goes,
"What?
and then
No,
she
we have
says very
everything."
specifically.
She's like,
She says, "If we don't cut the cake soon, there's gonna be
no,
a
that's
riot."
not yet. That's not yet.
Yeah, it is. Look right there.
No, that doesn't happen yet, because then she tells him, no, we got everything we need. And then he goes and he sees Gary's still there.
Talking to Cindy.
Yeah, he sees her
Yeah,
talking,
yeah,
and he
right.
walks over and he goes, so you want to tell me what really happened with the about this ice cream? And that's when he goes, well, I'm actually going to get your present that's still being gift wrapped.
Mhm.
And he's like, well, why wouldn't you just say that? And he's like, because I didn't want you to know I waited so long to, like, get it done. And he goes, okay, we'll get going then. And you're like, who? You are
What?
dumb. Like, are you, I don't know, man. A lie. You know, that's
It's
not
so
a very
weird,
well-crafted
yeah.
lie there.
Right.
For him to just be like, all right, well, you know, that's fine. I'm a drug-addled
Is he just
son.
like so into himself that he's like, well, if it's a gift for me, I'm pretty great and I deserve gifts. Go for it, buddy.
I think you're pretty spot on. The parents are selfish as
Yeah.
fuck.
Oh, my
hell.
God. That's kind of the point.
That's the
of
point of
this
the whole
cult.
movie. So yeah, then she says the riot line, like,
Yeah,
if we don't
she's
cut
like-
the cake, dude,
He's like, oh,
there's
so-
gonna be a riot.
Yeah, all these white people.
All these white
Exactly.
people are gonna
Mind.
fucking tear our house apart. Dan, what's his name? Bill,
What?
Jim,
Who? The
Chad?
dad? Rob.
So then it hard
Bruce
cuts
Dern.
to the parents are after the party in bed asleep. Gary sneaks in,
Sneaks back in. 'Cause
Right.
He's been out all night.
and
he never
his
came
mom
back.
like confronts him.
She's
Yeah,
what
like,
has he
why?
been
Have you
doing?
been drinking?
And he's
Take
like,
one
"Are you
down."
out of
No,
your mind?
Mom.
I haven't been drinking. No.
God.
Ugh.
I guess he said like me and my friend went to get a hot dog.
He was like, I guess. Oh yeah, me and whatever went and got pizza. Me and Tim got pizza, and I guess
It
we
was
lost track of time.
Like your story sucks, Gary.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
already-
he's
you're
just-
like you should be better at being this guy. You know what I
Yes.
mean? You suck at this.
Well, it just pisses me off because the parents have conversations like, "Do you think he's lying to us?" It's like, yes, they're terrible lies. Yes, he's constantly lying to you. You're like, "What the fuck are you asking that question for?" It's crazy.
You already know. Okay.
Yeah, you know he's lying to you.
So then we go to the school. I don't remember what happened here because all
They
I had
pull
time
up
to
in
write
the
was
car.
Gary's friend is saucy.
Jesus.
That's all I
They pull up in front of the school, and his friend pulls out a joint and like starts lighting it, and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
discuss
right.
how he's going to get him a job at the record store he works at.
because he's got to get a job to keep the
to
car.
pay the car, pay for the car.
You're right.
So it goes straight from them in
To
the
a-
parking lot of school.
It's such
to,
a bad cut.
Yeah,
It was really weird. Yeah.
to
Yeah.
a record shop, and him explaining like, this is where the cool stuff is. That's where the little kids stand, and there's where the top 40.
Why even
garbage
do we need to
goes.
see that? He could have just been like, "I'll get you
Dude,
a job
because
at the
it's
record
so
store."
cool and it's so normalized,
Oh.
and how
It's gotta
like
show how
there's,
cool
there's
working at a
fucking
record
drug
store is.
addicts everywhere,
Oh.
Bob. Because he like walks through the store and then they get in the back room and there's two guys smoking joints, and then he goes, "Do they smoke all the time?" He's like, "Only when it's slow." And then he pulls out a joint and he's like, "Well, when is it slow?" And he's like, "Pretty much all the time." And you're like,
Often
"Okay,
enough.
that's it, often enough."
Gary's gonna go off the handle at this den of iniquity, man.
Yeah, they're just smoking weed constantly at his
Right.
job.
Then they're at the football game.
Everyone's at this. Fucking
Everyone in
football.
town is. At
I
the
love that,
football
like a
game.
bunch of drug-addled teens that are running away from their parents and are like hiding are at
Right.
this football game.
They just always hang out underneath the bleachers, whether
Nobody
there's a game
knows to
going
look
on or
for
not.
'em.
So they're just like, well, I guess we gotta have this game around just while we're hanging out underneath the
So-
bleachers.
I wrote down.
This is where we live.
This is where we hang
the
out.
dad,
Assholes.
dad is talking to somebody about like something, and he says some shitty joke about how they're not going to play Scott. He's like, well, he's not going to get out there. He's probably going to spend the whole game on the bench or something like that, right?
No, Scott's like awesome at football.
He says online about staying on the bench. Though.
Yeah, he says Scott's gonna stay on the
like
bench.
the coaches, he's blaming the coach.
And then
Like,
they're like,
my genius son
Oh yeah,
is
okay,
not
okay.
being utilized by this
Okay,
team
gotcha,
properly, right? And
He also takes
yeah.
a shit on Tim. He's like, he calls
Right,
him
yeah.
Scuzzy. He goes,
Scuzzy.
"Why can't our son get better friends?" And the mom's like, "Tim's okay," and he goes, "Nah, he looks Scuzzy."
no, the
and
mom
that's-
was like that, and the dad
the
was
mom
like,
is saying, "Oh, that's right.
yeah,
That's right. The dad
dad's
is
like, he's
"Well,
okay.
he's a fine
She's
kid.
like,
His
nah, he's
father's a
scuzzy
doctor."
as
That's
fuck,
what he
yeah.
says.
Scuzzy
His
as
dad's a
fuck.
doctor. He's
But
fine.
this is when we're like introduced to the people that are looking for Kristen, like the mom and the.
oh
you're
yeah,
talking
they,
This is
they
a
come
movie
up.
for people who eat like cheese sandwiches. It's just
Yes.
mayonnaise and cheese
It's
sandwiches.
mayonnaise people.
Yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
another
man.
mayonnaise people movie. Mayonnaise people.
Now I
'Cause,
want a
it's
mayonnaise
like-
and cheese sandwich. That sounds great.
It's the mom and two
Not really.
what's the name of the cult?
Oh, yeah, the mother from the beginning being like,
Oh,
my
Tough
daughter's
Love is the name
fine or
of the
whatever.
cult.
Tough
Tough
Love.
Love cult.
Tough Love. It's like,
It's
yeah,
two Tough
what were their
Lovers
names? Bernice
with
and
her.
Dennis or
Yeah,
something.
and they're like they're going around the bleachers looking for Kristen
Yeah.
because she's run away.
And
then
they're like,
we
those girls might know, and they walk up to like punk rock kids, and
Right.
they're just like, we haven't seen her for days. And then
We're
that
gonna
girl
go
gets
listen
up,
to
and
more
the girl who says they haven't seen her for days
Madonna.
gets up and walks away. And then we see,
Kristen comes.
Kristen
and
Well, we
Gary.
meet Kristen, but we don't know her name yet. And her and Gary are meeting behind the bleachers,
Like the first time.
for the first time.
But right
yeah.
before that, some dude says to Gary, like, hey, man, you want to see my magic bag of pills?
Oh yeah,
I remember that. I wrote
Yep.
that down.
They
It's 'cause
definitely
doing
said
drugs
lewds
is
a couple
crazy, man.
times.
It's just a whirlpool.
None of the people really seem that whacked out on drugs either. It was like
No, they,
minimal drug use.
dude, they're talking about doing cocaine and stuff. They didn't do any makeup. You know what I mean? Like
No.
everybody just had like nice, clear eyes, and
And no one acted like cocaine
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
It was just
He's like, I'm on. I
Are you
swallowed
doing
this
cocaine?
thing."
Yes, right now. And they're just
And
sitting there
I'm
calmly, like,
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
we're calmly having a tea party. You're like, what?
Wait. So the effects of cocaine are nil. Why is it a problem?
Yeah.
Next, they're in class, and Gary tells the
The teacher's like, Gary, what does this line from Hamlet mean? And he goes, I don't know. I didn't really read it very thoroughly. And then she's just like, get up here now, and sends him out of the room.
and when he says that line where he's like, he says it all sarcastically, he goes, I guess I'm an inferior human.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And
Yeah.
she's like, why don't you know what it means?
I guess I'm an inferior human.
Which means now you're getting written up, which also somehow ends up with her finding weed on him.
Yeah, off camera.
yeah, off
'cause
camera.
we're cut to the dad is with the bald guy in the school office, and he's
Yes,
like,
we're gonna have to talk.
Gary
about
mouthed off again.
No, he goes, we're gonna have to
Mouth
talk
off.
about. He goes, Gary just came into my office, and he
If
goes,
he just
wait a
laid
minute.
low with his weed, he would have been
It would have been
fine.
completely fine.
Well, he's like,
Had a
look,
mouth off.
the dad was like, oh, it's Miss Johnson. She's always sending people in here. And then he goes, yeah, but she also found this. And he's like, well, what could this possibly be? And he's like, it's marijuana. And he goes, oh. And he goes, well, why did he have it? And he said he was given to him by someone else or something.
It was given to him by Satanists.
He's like, well, I guess. And then it's them at the home, right?
No, and
No.
then commercial break.
Oh.
Now I didn't write
Yeah.
down notes on the commercials except for what they were.
Dude, all
So
right.
here's-
the first commercial comes out of the gate, possibly one of my favorite commercials of all time that I think I've ever seen. It was just
It's
so
not just
simple.
a commercial, Matt. It's a marketing campaign. We want
That
we,
is
we went as the
brutal.
beginning of a
Yes,
marketing
it is-
campaign.
and they started off amazing. It's just a bunch of words. It's a black screen with like what kind of font was that?
Perseverance.
That's like a nice courier or something
Okay,
like that.
it was
I
a
guess.
nice font,
Yeah.
and it was just lowercase words with periods at the end. And yeah, it was like perseverance, persistence, glory. I don't know. It was just like concepts
on
and
black. There's no footage.
no footage, and then the name of the company,
Lehman Brothers.
Lehman Brothers.
Yeah.
Done. And
An
I was
American
just
Express
like,
company.
yeah, dude, that was
Yeah.
so good. It was
Yeah.
a great ad.
All right.
Then we get.
Okay, I'm gonna run down because we can't. Spell
Yeah,
all
I
the
know, I
time.
know.
So then we get a
I
McDonald's.
just love that ad.
Then we get a
lot.
McDonald's ad with Jim Taylor.
Yeah, McDonald's looked good.
Right.
Oh,
and
that was
then
the great. That was a weird. All right, well, we're gonna
Right.
spend time on it. That's fine.
Then we get a Pontiac 6000 STE ad, and the tagline was "We built eggs." I don't know what that says.
I don't know.
I
Was
can't
that
read
the
my
one with
own
We
writings.
built eggs Pontiac.
Was
That
that
sounds
the
about
one
right.
with, what's his name?
James Wagner,
Not Wagner. Was that Wagner? The guy from like
Maverick.
Maverick. Yeah.
Or My Fellow
James
Americans.
Garner.
James Garner. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the James Garner commercial.
Damn it! What was that? We build something in it. Okay.
Good
And then-
job.
I know, dude. I was writing so fast. And then there's a Sheer Elegance pantyhose ad.
Yes.
Then an
From
ad
Lay's.
for a repeat of Who's the Boss.
Yep.
Mhm.
Then an ad for Growing Pains. Then an ad for Moonlighting,
Hell
which said,
yeah.
"You'll love it." Then an ad for Our Family Honor, which starred
Oh,
Michael
yeah.
Madsen. Like
I've
very,
never heard of
very young Michael Madsen.
Yes.
Then a KFC. I wrote KFC. No, I just
KFC
KFC
Nuggets.
This is what I wrote. KFC Nugs fuck McD's don't. That's what I wrote.
That should have been the tagline.
Because
Way
that's
ahead
what
of
the,
its
the
time.
commercial was basically
KFC
like
nugs,
These
fuck.
nugs, fuck.
they straight insult McDonald's nuggets in the commercial.
Oh, they do.
They
Yeah, they're
do.
just like people ate both of them and said theirs are terrible. KFC nuggets. I'm talking to you from a blue abyss, and I'm dressed like I'm from the 1920s. That ad. was
McDonald's
fucking
has
nuts.
failed you. We redeem you. The best though is the last
Nuggets
commercial,
are the future.
which was for Ryder Trucks, and the tagline was,
Oh fuck yeah!
"If I were you, I'd move."
dude. That was so good. It's like, yeah, you should probably get
You should probably
just fucking
move.
move.
That guy with the glasses who we
Yeah,
recognize,
right,
but we
he's
don't know who it
in
was.
shit. He always plays like a person that's like, you've gone too far. He's like a character actor, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway, now we're back in the kitchen of the Chatterling home. Is that their last name? Chatterling?
I don't think you
Who
get
gives a
last
I
names.
think their last name was Chatter or something.
Okay.
Gary's home. And Gary denies doing drugs.
He's like, somebody gave it to me because I said I was going to see this girl. And they're like, who's this person? He's like, I don't remember his name. And they're like, why are you taking things? And he's like,
God,
look,
Mom.
And he's like, what was the name of the girl? And he's like, this girl Kristen or whatever. And the dad goes, wait, Kristen Welsh or Walsh?
Right.
And he's
Because
like,
they'd been looking for her at the
why?
football game.
Right.
And he's like, because the people have been looking for her. They said they haven't seen her. And he's like, well.
And they ask him to refrain from seeing her. And then he says something like, isn't my life hard enough being your son?
Yeah, because
he's I thought that was hilarious. Like, he's an assistant principal, man. Nobody in that school knows who the fuck he is.
Yeah, what is he doing?
He's doing nothing.
He's not like a figurehead that
Right.
people see a lot of, right?
Right.
I can't
No.
remember who my.
Walking around like he has a job.
Oh, is that 2 pages?
2 pages
My
in.
God.
Done.
24
And,
pages to go.
Right. And in this scene, he also grounds Gary for 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's
And
like,
then Gary,
you can
like,
only drive to
storms away.
school and drive to work. And that's
Gary
it.
storms away, and his dad tells his wife, "It's gonna be okay. We're gonna get a handle on this somehow." At this point, the dad, neither of them have been to the Tough Love.
No, they don't
cult.
know shit about it at all.
They're uninitiated and everything. They have no
They're trying to be
Well, no, they
like,
heard about it,
stiff
though.
upper lip.
I just
and
like that they're-
ignore that it's a problem, kind of.
right
character.
now. They're doing fine. Honestly, I don't really think they're doing bad right now.
Mm-hmm.
Gary's not that out of control, and
He's smoking weed.
he's just rebelling like a
school,
normal
yeah,
kid,
yeah,
and they're
he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. He's not.
He's not killing people or anything.
Right. It's whatever. The
That would be a plot twist.
Kristen's mom and the 2 tough lovers show up as Gary's mom's walking out of the house.
Yes, she's
The tough lovers
she's got
and
groceries.
Kristen are like they
walk
pull
up.
up and they ask, "You seen our daughter?" You know.
She's like, no, but your daughter almost got my son suspended.
keep
yesterday."
her away from him.
And they're like, please, just take the number and let us know.
Right.
And
right.
she's like, ugh,
How dare
garbage
you.
people with their terrible influences on my
Right.
my
They are
child.
cult members, though.
They're
For the
They are
record.
cult
They're
members.
cult members.
They
Then in the kitchen,
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
The phone rings and
his work is
his
looking
work
for
is
him.
calling to ask where Gary is, and his mom is like, "What?
He should be at work. He's not here, and he's grounded. So I can't imagine what he could possibly
be doing?"
doing.
And then he comes home, right?
Later, it like fades to black, and she's chopping. It fades back in. She's like cutting cucumber. She's
right.
like slicing.
She's slicing that cucumber a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
She's slicing a lot of cucumber for some
I thought
reason.
it was cheese originally, but
And he comes home, and she's
That's
like,
much
"Oh,
healthier.
did you get to work?" And he's like, "Yeah, I was
I
just
got there
late. I
like
helped
right
a fr-
after
I
you
had to
called.
help." He was
Yeah.
like, "I had to help a friend with a car," and she's like, "Why didn't you call me?" And why didn't you call work and let him know you're gonna be late? And he's like, "I can't just leave him in the street, Mom. Come on, what am I, a monster?"
Right.
And then she's like, "Oh, okay. Well, did you not get my message from your work?" And he's like, "Oh, I did. It was just real busy though."
Right.
And then he's like, "I got stuff I got to do."
So
And
he walks out,
goes
and then she's
upstairs.
like, "I have to check. I must." She calls his fucking work, and they're like, "He never came in.
"Yeah," and she's just like,
He never came in."
I'm gonna slice this cucumber some more.
I
And
just
then
wrote-
she stops and goes,
I just wrote he's with that bitch Kristen in his mom's quotation.
Well, this point she
Right.
looks in her grocery bag and pulls out the piece of paper that had the tough love.
Yep.
Mhm.
Like,
Yep.
Is that when she decides to
information
go
on it.
visit them for her
At
job?
first, yeah.
Well, no,
I
right
think that's-
after that we go to Kristen's house.
Okay.
Oh, because Kristen finally
Is that
comes
delivering
home.
onions?
That's delivering an onion.
She's home.
God, it feels like ages ago.
Yeah.
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 Kurt.
I don't remember what happens in the scene, but I wrote she can't be caged.
Yeah, no, she comes home
She
and the
says
mom's
something
like,
like
"Are
that.
you gonna talk to me about anything?" And she's like, "Just fuck off," basically.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm home.
No, I'm
Just
home.
Shut up.
Yeah, whatever. Just leave me alone.
If
Do
you
you
eating
want me to
liver and
leave
onions,
again?
I'm taking a shower and leaving, Mom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And she's just like, my life.
Wait a minute. See, now I got Gary's mom chalks. Because we jumped ahead.
Oh,
She's chopping the
that's
cukes.
okay. That's the cute.
Gary lies about work. Mom
Yeah,
calls
yeah,
to
yeah.
work. Mom looks at the flyer for Tough Love.
I said that.
I know. I'm just
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
putting it in order
okay,
now.
Fine.
parents' room. That's when his parents are in bed again.
Oh, this is where they
They
so they talk about how they're
Is this
fucking
still like
failing.
oddly sexy? Them
Yes.
talking about their
It's
family
them-
thing?
it's like turning them on. Like,
somehow
yeah.
discussing how
we
they're
fucked our
failing as
son up.
parents.
They're like, we gotta lock our son out of the house, but I'm also gonna like coyly like unwrap your robe and like stick my hand in there.
No, I love this line because she goes, but his work said that he never came in. He goes, you just caught a guy who was on a different shift and didn't see him.
Mm-hmm.
He was just trying to fuck. Like, he was just like, I don't care. What?
yeah. Gary's a fuck
yeah.
up. We'll fucking kill him. Who cares?
Yeah.
So what's up? Let me see that stuff.
Weird.
Very weird. Yeah, that's it. What happens?
Uh-huh.
What tough love.
Now
is.
we're at the work.
She explains what tough love.
He's like, they're a
And
bunch of
well-
fucking failures.
Hilarious.
No, he calls them failures later, but yeah, he does call them failures.
She also has a lot of exposition right here where she's
Yeah.
like, tough love is a group of parents. I just
Yeah,
wrote.
yeah.
They're really
I
selling
shortened
the
it.
cult there.
I wrote is a group of parents with shit kids. That's all I wrote. But she has like a
That's
whole.
kind of like what he says. Like
You
a
can
bunch
see-
of desperate parents
This
are part
line
of
is
that.
Yeah.
like this was like the first line I thought in the movie that really showed how this is like a cult movie because she like says she just reads the description of tough
Mhm.
love.
Yeah.
You know, which actually existed, right? Just so we're clear.
It feels like the scenes in
Right?
that show.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They had like rehabilitation camps.
Yeah, they had like the things where you send your kids to labor camps kind of stuff.
Right.
So it
Oh
kind
my
of sucks.
God.
Yeah.
So then we go to Gary's mom's work because she's a journalist at a newspaper.
Yes.
I
And her
forget. I
boss
didn't
is-
write down anything.
her like editor is like, so what is this shit? And she's like, it's for kids. And he's like, kids don't buy newspapers. And she's like, yeah, but it's also for their parents. And it's important because it's about family.
Right.
And he's like, whoa, shit, okay,
The
fine.
values of this movie are so
Yeah.
crystal clear.
It's crazy.
Like, unless you are purely traditional in every sense of the word, you're wrong.
Mhm.
Like, dead fucking wrong.
And he goes, all right, go to it. And he's like, go ahead. And she's like, I'll make a story out of it. So she goes to a meeting.
Tough love meeting, right.
And that's when it's basically indoctrination for like 5 minutes, sort of.
there's a story
They're
about
like,
a girl
it's
in
not the parents' fault
Yeah.
ever.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Kids should just
Hold
die
on.
if they're drug
There,
addicts.
it starts out with a woman telling a story about a girl in Pennsylvania holding up a cocaine dealer.
Yes.
Right? And then, and then
It's like wafting around tables. She's like listening to people's stories, and they're all like horrific.
horrific.
And
yeah.
all the representatives of the Tough Love group are saying stuff that are planting the seeds of just like,
Do it now or you're next. It's your son's next.
yeah, or
Yeah.
well, more of like, I was gonna say more of like, planting the seeds of being like, you just fucked me all up by saying that you screamed in my face and threw me off the trail.
Okay, well then what
Alright,
is it?
I don't know. Can't remember now. Great. Thanks.
Whoa! Okay.
No, I'm just like, it's not your fault. It's like it's the not your fault thing from like,
Yes, you're right. They
uh,
take all blame off parents. They pretty much
Good Will Hunting.
they pretty much put everything on the children
Yes.
in the groups. Which is really an interesting thing. Because it's for the children, but they blame the children.
Yes,
It's
it's
awesome.
not for the children.
I know, but on the
Surface level, it's for the children.
It's for the
yes.
children,
It is
but it's
not for the
actually like
children.
it's actually like a way to remove guilt for the parents. It's
yeah, to
awesome.
be like, well, I did everything I could, and they,
Ah!
fucking just did heroin in the living room until they turned into a corpse. Not my
the
problem.
whole movie's like, let's cut our losses and just
Yep.
move on. Okay.
Yes. It's like investment banking for families.
Yeah, right. So then we cut to Gary sneaking out of the window of his room, right?
Yes,
Because
because he's on curfew, so
he bikes away. For some, I remember that
because he can't drive his car. They'd hear
he
it.
can't drive his car,
Yeah.
right? And
This is when it's him and Kristen listening to music.
no, they're back at the Tough Love,
Oh, okay.
and that's they're back at Tough Love, and that's when she's being told she's describing some stuff about Gary, and I think the other woman there is like saying like, don't worry, your kid might seem like an alien, but he's not. But they were like, There's like three different. I didn't write them down, but there was like three different ways that she like basically said.
Oh, she goes.
Your son is like like he's not operating.
No. She was saying, she's like, but I feel guilty, and she's like, it's not. You don't know. It's not if you did something to him. It could have. His dad might have done something to him, or he could be an alien. It doesn't fucking matter why he feels the way he feels.
She says parents are people too.
Yeah, and she's like, it's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
Your parents are people too.
It's probably his dad's fault, so don't feel bad.
It was the weirdest thing. That is such a weird thing to say.
It was
but it's
a
also
really
a very
weird
culty
yeah.
thing to say.
Yeah.
Like the perfect
None of it matters.
juxtaposition.
Just believe this.
What's the perfect juxtaposition from that scene to like showing the evils of the world, which is cutting to the inner sanctum of Kristen's room, in which they're listening to Sister Christian.
Yeah,
just hanging
that
out
was
and doing
awesome.
cocaine.
Well, they're doing.
I love listening to Sister Christian for cocaine.
They're
so
doing
good.
cocaine,
Perfect
but
combo.
they're acting like normal, like you were
They
saying.
look fine.
Yeah,
They're
like-
fine.
But then he's like, "Oh, I can't do anymore. If I do it, I'm never gonna sleep as it is." And she's like, "Well, you can just take some downers." And he's like, "You." And this is like the infomercial stuff of drugs. He's like,
Right.
I thought you couldn't mix them." And she's like, "It's totally fine." And then they start kissing.
Yeah, they start kissing.
Yeah, they make drugs look really fucking
But
cool.
I'd
right
say
there.
the insinuation is they had sex, right? I thought it was sex
Or
Like,
whatever,
we just
yeah,
didn't show it.
sure.
Oh, that's probably why she has to die.
Right. The mom gets
It's
Gary's
horrible.
mom gets home and she tells the dad that she went to a tough love meeting. She reveals that she went with it, right? And
Yes, and he's like, "Are you out of your fucking mind? They're pathetic." That's what he calls.
I'm
them
tired of
failures.
ignoring how he acts.
Yeah.
And the dad insists he's not a bad kid.
He's like, he's not
The
a
dad
bad
has
kid.
faith.
That's what
in
he's like.
his
He's like,
son.
"Look, Scott's great," and he turned out that way because we did the same thing, and it's like
Gary
it'll work.
came out of my balls too.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll work out.
Yeah.
God damn it, I'm the assistant principal.
Right. And then commercial break.
Dude, he sucks for like the first.
Oh, he's
the
so
whole movie,
stupid.
honestly,
He
because he
sucks.
joins a cult that hates
He
children.
sucks before and after.
Yeah.
Then we get a commercial break, and the first one I think is Kurt's favorite,
Oh my god,
which was a Duracell commercial that had.
It just caught me off guard.
It was
caught me
really
really
funny.
off guard.
Well, it starts with like a little puppeted guy that looks like.
it looks like Hitler.
Yeah,
It looks
it's
like
a
Hitler.
little
A
Hitler,
little
yeah.
puppet.
We were watching. I
it's a
didn't
little
even catch
Hitler
it
in a
really.
hot air balloon.
And
And I
Hitler
was
in a
like,
hot air
what?
balloon.
You were
Yeah.
just like, wait a minute, was that a tiny Hitler? And
Yeah,
I was-
yeah.
And then they show
It's
him
a
again, and he
Duracell
does have the little
commercial?
mustache. And I was like, oh my god, what's happening?
It's really weird.
Yeah, it's him in a hot air balloon. It's great.
And then a super intense
Oh, yeah,
milk
the
commercial.
milk.
Oh
immediately
yeah,
afterwards.
right. Yeah.
It's just like milk. Drink it now.
We have
I wrote just
work hard.
milk, no brand, just the concept
Just
of milk.
Gotta make sure people are drinking milk.
It was
no.
like peak milk being shoved down our
Yeah,
throats.
it was. Yeah, seriously. Then it was Transamerica Life Insurance Scrooge. It was a Scrooge parody
Yeah.
for Transamerica Life
This
Insurance.
is terrible.
Then the really fucking confusing petroleum.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! All
That
right, this
was
guy is
weird.
nuts. So obtuse. I love that. It
How did it
seemed-
even
Remember, you
start?
can see
It was
these too
about-
if you're listening. You can watch the YouTube version.
Yeah.
These are on there. So
It was about. So it was a woman. You're watching a woman like closing a store and walking to like a car while like a
Yeah.
guy explains. Remember how great of a time? Or no, he's like, you used to not be able to go out on Beale Street at night. And he's like, but now, thanks to an innovation of petroleum that you never knew was improving your quality of life. And he starts talking about like light diffusing, like
Oh, yeah,
plastic
light-
covers.
The lights, parking
Yeah.
lot lights, and, how
And then
much
it's
brighter
but then it
parking lots
shows
are.
like a gas pump. And it's like, and I was like, God, what the
What
fuck?
was that?
So
Yeah.
good.
It was about
had
how
no
good of
idea.
lamps they made, and they're a gas company. It was weird.
I didn't like.
It's
We didn't know what the
awesome, man.
product was for like the whole time.
I still don't really know.
No,
Some of
yeah.
these commercials were amazing. Like
Yeah,
the
they
one
were,
commercial
they
that
were.
was just like, who gives a fuck what our product's called? Eat it. It's great. That commercial was awesome.
Yeah. Then there was one for football. Who cares?
Yeah.
We're back at we're at a jukebox restaurant that the moms are meeting at. They're meeting at a restaurant with a jukebox. Chrissy's mom and Gary's mom. Because
Yeah, they go out
Gary's
for
mom
coffee.
wants to. She needs to know more
Yeah,
about.
she's like,
Mhm.
so what's
You know,
going
what's
on
it?
with this? What's up?
She apologizes for blaming Chrissy.
Yep.
It's not her fault. I realize now that my son is flawed, and it's all.
And
It's deep
okay.
within him, the sickness that I didn't put there.
The problem.
she found eye drops
Yeah, and then
so that
she,
he could do
and
more
she,
drugs.
And then her mom
Yeah.
explains, "Oh, that's so that you don't know they're high."
Oh yeah, she says the thing. Chrissy's mom says the best line. She goes, because she's like, maybe my son isn't on drugs. He's like, no, let me tell you something. If your son didn't have drugs, my daughter would never spend time with him.
Oh yeah.
She like totally
Mm-hmm.
throws Gary out of the bar.
Well, both of them. She's just
It's
like, my
like,
daughter is a
my daughter's a-
fucking junkie,
and your
your
son,
son
is
is
a
an
loser.
addict.
You know, she basically says he's
And
a
a
loser.
loser.
They've
Yeah.
ruined our lives.
Yeah.
These kids are horrible. They've ruined these wonderful parents that are great cult members' lives.
I kind of thought when we were watching, I almost felt like the moms were gonna fall in love or something.
Oh my god!
Like she was gonna leave
we'll
Bruce Dern.
We'll form the perfect tough love union. No children can be born.
They'll never take us down. Those fucking goblins.
Finally, we'll be powerful enough to have our own destiny. So then we're back at the house in the kitchen, and Scott wants to go out to the record store, and his mom has a problem with that, right?
Yeah, she's like, "Why do you want to go out?" And he's like, "I don't know, because it was too late. It was past his curfew because he was younger than Gary or whatever.
Yeah.
Gary's a fucking wild man." So they were like, "It's past your curfew," and he's like, "No, it'll be okay."
And they're like,
And
let
he goes
him
to
go.
the store, and
then he's at the store with Scott. He's at the store with his brother.
Scott's at the store, and
they're
Gary's
trying
like,
to-
"What are you doing here?" And he's like, "I just figured I'd buy some tapes." And he's like, "Okay, well, I'm getting out of here. And he's like, "I got to get out of here.
And
Where people are
he
waiting
doesn't
for
want
me."
Scott to come with him.
Yeah, and he's like, "Well, can I come with you?" And he's like, "No, fuck, you don't."
No, I'm gonna go fucking do drugs, ass.
He's gonna tell mom and dad
Why
what
don't you
I
go get
do?
another A+, huh?
Bitch.
Get the fuck out of here.
But yeah, he's like, "You gonna tell mom and dad about what happens?" And he goes, "No, I won't." So he's like, "All right, fine, cool, come along." And now they're drinking, doing cocaine.
Talking about
lube.
quite losing.
Hold on, that's
Yeah.
you jump. It cuts
Oh.
back to the kitchen
Oh,
where dad talks to mom. I wrote, "Dad's life is crumbling."
oh yeah.
yeah. Because it's
The,
everything.
the guy's like, he's like, you can't be going to those meetings because the
Assistant
guy.
principals or family principals.
Yeah, it's
You're
like
right.
it,
Can't
it
be
makes
having
it
their
seem
sons
like I
be
don't know
going
what
crazy.
I'm doing. Makes me look like a fool
Yeah.
to
My
that
boss-
bald guy.
My boss is mad at me that my son does drugs.
And this is where he says everyone, the tough loves are just a bunch of failures.
Okay, that's when
He
said
calls.
it. All right.
He
Just straight up.
He
It's like
insults
it's
the
full
cult.
of failures.
Dad has hope right
He
now.
hasn't joined yet.
Yeah. So then we go to they're in the car.
Okay, now they're
Drunk
drinking.
singing. They're
Drunk-
doing a
what Was
joint.
the song? That was the song we were trying to figure out what it was. Cause
Oh, yeah, it was
It's like
really cool.
impossible to hear.
It was really
Yeah.
cool. It sounded like Kaja Gugu or something like
But
that.
they're passing around a joint, doing drugs while driving.
talking about doing. Oh no, he doing coke as well.
And that's when
And the brother's drinking a beer,
Yeah.
but like baby sipping it. And then
Yes.
they run through a red light, hit a car.
Yeah.
They just drive away.
Scott
and then
cuts his
Scott's
head.
like, "I've cut my head on something." I just love that. He's
Oh
like,
yeah, I've cut
I've
myself.
cut my head on something.
Oh,
It's like, you're in
Gary.
the back seat. What the hell?
I
Are you
must let
trying to
mommy and daddy know.
Right. So
Now
we
he's
get to
at
the
the
hospital. Scott is he's fine. They stitched him up. He's okay.
Yeah, the doctor explains that he's okay and that his parents are on the way.
and he tells a slight lie for Gary at first.
well, they show up and they're like, "What happened?" He goes, somebody didn't stop at the red light and I'm the only one who got injured. So like,
Right.
And they're like, "Where's Gary?" And he's like, "Well, he left because I'm okay." And he's like, "That's fucking crazy that he would just leave you here." And they're like, "Was he on drugs?" And he's like, I don't want to get in the middle.
Oh,
of
I actually
this."
did a lot of coke. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. He tells him about
And he
the
tells
coke.
him everything, and then the dad just fucking storms out.
Yep. Then commercial break.
Hell yeah.
KFC nugs.
More
Been
nugs.
there.
Different woman in the abyss.
The
this time.
second part of the genius
Lehman Brothers just coming at us.
typeface
Yeah.
campaign.
Fucking brilliant.
Then Nuprin, little yellow different.
Mm-hmm.
And then post
We're
harvest.
not aspirin.
No, they're not aspirin. Then the post harvest
Advertising
medley,
the
which
80s
was
is
I think
nuts.
it was the post harvest medley was the vegetable thing, right?
Yeah, that was the cereal that didn't care what it was called.
Right.
That's
Oh,
why you
yeah,
don't know
it's
what
a
it was
five
called.
You don't know what it was
The ad
called.
was
Right.
actively trying to make you forget what it was called.
Then an ad for the Insiders, which was,
Oh, that
yeah.
looked good.
Oh,
That looked like
yeah.
a good episode. It looked like an episode like it was the Warriors
Then-
too.
An ABC news brief with ABBA's. I don't know.
Oh
what I
yeah,
wrote
the
down.
Abbas. Some
Uh,
sort of terrorist or like a
Then it was for the airborne delivery service, and they touted the fact that they did not have the federal government involved.
That was like the one with the murder noise at the end.
Yeah, the murder noise.
Where
They
it's
were
like,
like, "We're coming for you."
yeah, it has that
FedEx or
piano
whatever.
note that was
No
just,
government. Yeah, right.
We're not tied to the government. We're coming after you.
And then it was
tense.
Well, they also challenged you to send something through both services.
to see.
What?
To see.
God, these advertisements where they mention
Awesome.
their competitors in like every fucking ad. It's
so
nuts.
awesome. It's great.
It's insane.
It was a
They're
real
like, no, fuck them. We're us. God damn it.
our nugs are better.
80s were crazy.
Then we had a Burger King with Robin Leach.
Very.
Burger King commercial with
Oh,
Robin
yes.
Leach.
Robin Leach.
Then it was the action news about bucks. I don't know what that means.
Oh, that was just a news. It was like the local news.
about hunting.
It's in Florida.
It's about
so
hunting?
the
Okay.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's Florida.
That was it. The
Football.
Buccaneers. Yeah, it
I
was.
feel like there was a hunting thing at one point on the news.
But it
too.
was no. He's right. It was. I remember now.
Maybe. We watched a whole news segment at one point.
Yeah. And we're back at Gary's house. Mom took Gary's keys
To the
right?
car.
To the car.
Yeah.
And she talks to Bruce Dern, and she wants him to start attending the meetings, the tough
He's
love
like,
meetings.
I can't fucking do that.
I can't do it. They're a
I'm
bunch
never
of
gonna
idiots.
become a principal of a school if I go to these meetings and talk to these fucking.
I'm never going to
losers.
achieve my childhood dream of becoming
This
a
is
principal.
what I've worked
a
for. You.
principal, a principal dad. If I don't, okay.
Yeah.
And then we cut perfectly to Gary's room where he's listening to "Shout at the Devil."
Yeah,
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
being angry as fuck.
And
in
isn't that when
room.
his mom comes in? He says, "You're set," or his dad comes in.
The dad comes in. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
He said, "I wrote down this line." He goes, "You're 17. What are you so angry about?"
"Yeah."
I remember that.
He's like, "Weren't you mad when you were
Yeah.
young?" He's like, and he goes, "Put on your jacket and let's go."
"Oh my god!"
This scene.
cut to the institution or whatever the fuck
Yeah,
it was.
they're in like a hallway, and he's like, "Come down."
I had
here."
forgotten about this.
Yep.
It was nice.
Oh yeah, this scene is fucking stupid. He takes him into this room, and it's full of like insane people.
Oh yeah, the dad's showing him around.
yeah. He goes. He's like,
an
"I wanted
assistant
you to
principal
see
at a
this
school.
room."
Why can he just do that?
I don't know.
I
Who
love
does
it
he
though. One of
know?
the first things he says, I remember, he goes, "Your granddad died here."
He goes, "Why
Yeah.
are we in this room?" And he goes, "I'm not crazy." He goes, "I know you aren't, but your grandfather died in this room." And he's like, "What?
His
Here?"
drug-addled brain didn't
Yeah.
know where he was.
He was like, "Oh, he was an alcoholic for 30 years. He just ruined his brain, and he ended up here, and he didn't even know who I was." And he's like, "I just don't want you that. I don't
I
want
don't
that to
remember what
happen
the
to another
setup was.
person that I love."
I don't know what the setup was for this, but he said, like, either my father always said, or he said he didn't know, was the one truth is that a life needs nurturing. That was like he said it to
Yes,
Gary.
yeah.
Yeah. And then that
So he's trying to help him.
He's trying to help him. Dad,
He actually reached out to him at this point in a really obtuse way at first, but
and he begs him to stop.
It's incredibly dark
Yeah, he is.
Mhm.
He begs him to stop.
This movie is
and
really dark.
misguided. Like
Yeah.
you're not. No one. Yeah. All right.
We cut back to Gary's bedroom. He yells at Scott for telling the truth about
He's
the
like,
car
"You're a
crash.
fucking narc." And
Yeah,
Scott's
right.
like, "Yeah, I am because you suck dicks."
You
Get
told
out
our
of my
Nazi
room."
parents. He keeps calling them Nazi
Yes.
parents too, by the way. Yeah.
Or Duracell puppet parents.
I don't remember why I wrote Scott insinuates Gary isn't human. But it was
He's
like
an alien.
it's a euphemism or something.
Okay.
It wasn't like actually.
No, but Scott's just like, "Fuck off, dude. I don't care. You can go die in a ditch. Get
Right.
out of my room. Suck it."
right.
Tough love. We're joining the
And
cult.
Scott was tough loving him since the
Then
beginning.
Scott goes to his dad right after that and says, look, basically, Gary's he's
He's
move.
fucked,
He's
man.
done.
Yeah.
Send him out. Send him up give him to the cult people. Let him chew him up.
Chew him up.
Basically, lock him out. Right.
Mhm.
So then they go back to tough love. Right.
Yes. And now she's like, "Yeah, everything's fucked."
Mom admits their
Doug's
coke
with it.
abuse, and Dad finally shows up at the meeting.
Yes, because the person's
everyone's
like,
like-
"What about your husband?" She's like, "I think it's
I
too
love
far
this.
gone." And he goes,
Do you
it
guys
might not
realize
be-
that the
might not
reason
be."
the dad broke down and finally like gave in to the people he thought were failures was because his good son
told him. Yeah.
Like that's not only do they hate
he never
Gary.
made that decision.
No, it's
after,
like Scott is like controlling this fucking family
because he's perfect.
He's
Bob.
perfect. Yeah,
He's
he doesn't have
Damien.
any. God damn it!
I don't even know what happens to Scott at the end.
He goes on to become a senator, and then
That's probably true.
enacts some sort of blood right, and then he becomes the.
He's
Because-
probably some
Devil.
horrible
Gary
Ohio
washes-
politician right now.
We cut to Gary washing his car, and Kristen wants
Kristen's
him to
like,
go
you should
to.
come with us. We're going away for the weekend.
For
He's
the
like,
weekend.
fucking
Right.
no. I got to lay low until my parents chill the fuck out. Get away. And she's
They
like, no, but
kiss.
come on, let's hang out then.
But-
And he's like, no, my
yeah.
mom will be home soon. He's like, fuck, all right, fine.
Fuck, dude.
She tries to kiss him a bunch, and he's like, get
Out of here.
And then that weird car that said "follow us" on it or
Right,
something.
yeah.
That VW Bug pulls up, and she disappears for an indeterminate amount of time again for her mom to go
And-
nuts about.
Well, we go back to Tough Love again. God, this cuts
yeah.
around
So,
so much.
well, I mean, it was basically an infomercial for joining this
Tough
club,
Love,
You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And the speaker, what does the speaker say? Like, how much can you handle?
This is
Kid-
where they really start leaning into
Kids
the, like,
get your power-
Fucking forget them.
This is a
Yeah, they're
seminar.
like, you
This is
can't-
the seminar of Tough
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah, it's like
They
you
said
can't
how
handle
mu-
anymore. Get
You
rid
can't
of your
handle
kids.
anymore. Kids get power from predictability. You need to and then the woman tells her you need to block Gary out, and Dan does not like that.
This was like an advertisement.
he
for
eventually-
He's
their,
like rebelling
child.
against it.
He leaves the room, and
Yeah,
they
he
have
leaves
that
the room.
argument outside, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And thank God, right after that, we have a commercial break where we get
What do we
a
get this
Mazda
time?
323 sports sedan
Okay.
with Robert the Maverick. What's his name?
James Garner.
James Garner. Sorry. Then we get a Visa commercial. Then
That was
a
a weird Visa commercial too. You
Super
didn't realize
weird.
It was a Visa commercial until they put a.
It
Visa
was
card on
strange.
the
Yeah,
thing.
I don't remember what it was.
and then we get a Wendy's burger, and they're advertising how it's not old.
Yeah, they're like
McDonald's.
McDonald's is old. You know how long that's been sitting on a goddamn
Right.
shelf. Here's
Wendy's is fresh and new. Then we get a Mary Lou Retton Energizer battery commercial.
Yeah,
Shit used to be
patriotic
nuts.
American
Yeah.
Energizer, not those fucking Nazis at Duracell.
What was Duracell thinking?
I don't
know.
man.
Then we get almost a dual ad for Dynasty and Hotel.
Oh yeah,
The
that
show's
movie.
Dynasty and
Was
Hol-
Hotel a show or a movie?
I think it was a show.
Oh wow, okay.
It had some subtitle to it, Hotel something,
Oh okay.
but I didn't write that down.
It looked vaguely interesting.
Yeah.
Was that the one
Then
with Carl Weathers?
we're cut to dinner, right? Yes. And this is where we find out that Gary he can't go to homecoming. He's not.
Well, Scott's like,
Right.
I asked this girl to go to homecoming. She said yes, and then Scott goes, "Yeah, I got asked by Cindy." And the parents are like, or the dad's like, "Oh, would you want to go?"
Right.
And the mom was like, and then he's like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Well, you're not going." And he's like, "I don't even want to talk about it." And he like gets mad and leaves. Then
Right.
the parents start arguing, being like, "No, we told him he's not allowed to do shit." The mom's like, "Fuck that," and the dad's like, "But what? Give him a chance. I can't, be a bad dad." And then the other son goes, "I'm gonna not be a part of this," and he leaves. And then they argue more, and then the mother leaves, and that's when I was like screaming, like, "Your empire is crumbling!" Like he is like he's just like, "No, my seed is good." It's great.
I didn't break him.
So he's starting to fall apart because his family's falling apart.
Right. And then we cut to Kristen's living room, Kristen's house living room. She's listening to loud music
And then the mom comes in with two moving people and just starts
Right.
emptying her fucking room.
because she's
And
kicking
she's like,
her out.
"No," and she's
Yeah.
like, "No, I'm kicking you out." And she's like, "No, I'll be good." And she's like, "All right, well,
I
know
could
that if
probably
you
sell your
never,"
shit, actually, though,
she was like, "Yeah, if
so-
you ever don't come home one night, all your shit
Done.
will be gone after
Done.
that."
Then we cut to homecoming.
Yeah.
I didn't write much down.
Scott's there with
Gary-
his girl. Gary's there with Cindy. He's like not having a
Right.
great time. He tries to dance with her. Kristen
Sees them dancing
Yes.
and loses her fucking
the fuck
mind.
out.
Yes.
Mhm.
goes back to her house and just starts destroying the kitchen. Or is
Right.
that not yet? But
I think that's
whatever. Yeah,
about
that,
then.
Yeah.
That's
She-
wait, hold on.
They're
Homecoming.
dancing.
Oh wait, no. First is Gary drops off Cindy. she pretty much says,
Oh, yeah, Cindy's
your friends are a bunch of honest dopers. Oh, he says my friends are honest. At least
and
they
she's like,
might be
"Your friends are
dopers, but they're honest. They know who they are. And
They do shitty things
and
and
then
don't lie about it.
she invites
You're
him
like,
in. She invites him in, and he says, "No, I don't want to
He's
go."
like, no, fuck that.
Yeah,
You're
I just wrote
boring.
Gary doesn't want to fuck.
Yeah,
But he
doesn't
was
wanna
just like,
fuck.
you don't get it. You want me to be normal like my parents do. And she's like, yeah, it's because it's fine. Because that's the point of this movie.
Right.
Because you're supposed to be normal. Just conform. What is
It's
your
like
problem,
it's
Gary?
like if there was like a good companion piece movie to They Live, it's this.
Hmm.
This is like the opposite of They Live.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah. Then we're back at Gary's home. He's leaving, and the dad doesn't want him to.
He is like fucking his room all up.
Yeah.
Oh, because he also got made fun of a bunch at the dance by some
Right,
dickhead
right.
named like
Right.
Barry or
No, you're
Bryce
right.
or something. And Ben, I don't know. Then,
Names
he's
are
like
hard.
tearing his room apart looking for what drugs he has left to leave with.
Yeah, he's packing up all the important stuff.
Yeah, and
right.
he like throws his dad to the ground
right.
in the process and then dips. And the dad locks the
Dad
door.
locks him out. And a thunderstorm. Cut to a thunderstorm's happening outside.
Wait, she hasn't destroyed her mom's house yet?
I might not have written it down.
Okay.
She
'cause
does destroy her mom's
Kristen
house,
just
though.
starts
Yeah, she does.
breaking everything in her mom's
I think
house, and her
that's
mom
later.
calls like those two people that are the ones that help everybody, that like black family.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember their names. She calls them to be like, I need help. Oh, we also missed the part where they it doesn't matter. But she calls them to be
going
like,
down
she's
the notes.
destroying my house. I need help. And that happened.
Right. Okay,
So now Gary's
cut
trying
the
to get back in the house.
cut the thunderstorm. Gary's like trying to unlock the door, get back in
Don't
the
work.
house.
They left him a note that's like, here's some places you can stay.
Right.
You're
And
not
it's
allowed to be
basically
here.
a scene of him standing outside the house screaming at the house to let him in
For a long
in a
time.
wide shot. Then we cut to a commercial. It's the third part of the Lehman Brothers
Hell yeah.
text campaign. Then
It's
it's
pummeling you.
a puppy chow commercial.
Ooh, that was a good puppy
Adult
chow
dog-
commercial.
Adult dog food is not for your
Yeah.
puppy.
No,
Don't- yeah.
no.
Alka-Seltzer commercial that is on the backs of dairy farmers.
Oh yeah.
And then a Mazda commercial. And then a Moonlighting. The Insiders. And Miss Goldie.
Oh, Miss
Oh, Miss
Goldie. What was?
Goldie. Those were
Goldie.
chicken legs.
Chicken
they were like
legs.
breaded chicken legs or something.
Oh, and then it was...
There's some lady singing about chicken thighs.
Oh, yeah. That I wrote this
With
down.
drumsticks.
There was an action news brief for a famous restaurant that turned 80.
Oh,
there
yeah.
was,
Like in
yeah.
Tampa Bay, Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, like actually a real restaurant. And then it was Amco, AA.
Oh yeah, they fix
MCO.
they
MCO.
fix ambulances.
Right. And we're back at the house, Gary's house. The mom tells the dad that Gary stole $40,
Yes.
right?
And they're just like, well, the bullshit never ends, even when he's
$40
not here.
I can buy me like 3 cars back, Ned.
I know, right?
Do you know how many KFC chicken
Yeah.
nuggets we can buy with that?
You know where I can invest that? I know exactly where.
Lehman Brothers.
And
We could've said-
petroleum.
They leave the house. Gary pulls up in his car.
driveway.
Looks like shit. And they're like, you're fucked. And he's like, I live here. And they're like, not anymore. Not acting like that shit. Right?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I'm trying to read my own writing. Dad smashes a vase because Gary is drugs. That's what I wrote.
He's drugged.
I remember
He
that dad.
is drugs.
Dad smashes a
Vase.
vase because Jerry's drugs. Yeah, Gary.
He's like, look, they let him back in the house.
Right.
but then
And
the
he's
dad
like,
like
just
hits
tell
him.
me what
Just
you're
tell me what's
on
up.
right
Right,
now.
right
and he's
now.
like, no.
And then
that's when he
Dad
smashed
smashes the
vase.
thing. And then he, I think he says, like, you don't make any sense or
Mhm.
something. Then we go to Tough Love. Why we're all here. Dad tells his story for the first time at the Tough Love meeting.
Yeah.
Right. And he says it always worked with Scott.
I always work with Scott. Why
Yeah.
can't? What the hell's wrong with that boy?
I just hit him and it was fine, Scott. It's kind of like he.
I only had to hit Scott once. I beat the fuck out of Gary for years. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. And then the mom says, we feel so lost.
And they're like, it's
lost.
not your fault. Just let your kids die. Cut
Yeah,
them
you
out
just-
of your life.
All you got to do is
Is
just
this where they
stick a
start
knife
talking
right
about
in the base
creating
of their
a
skull.
crisis? Is this where they start saying to create a crisis?
It
I
might
think this
be.
is the
I
conversation.
didn't write it
about,
down, but
yeah.
you're right.
I think this is the
Yeah, yeah,
conversation where they started saying, like, they were like, you got to incite a crisis in them.
God damn, man, that's such bad advice.
Yeah, to cause this to happen.
Yeah.
And they're
God
like,
damn it.
all right, I guess. So they lock
Uh,
him out again.
Well, then we go to the
Right?
they're back at home and the police show up.
Oh yeah, they think he's at home while they're doing that.
They think he's
get
at
home
home.
and the cops are like, "Nah, they got arrested breaking into a house. You got to come down and get him out."
And they say no.
The,
we're not
the,
going
the
to.
mom goes, "What if we don't go?" And he goes, "Well, just stay there."
We'll stay there.
And they're like,
Okay.
"All right, have him."
Finally, and then we cut to
The
a
mom-
delicious Thanksgiving turkey being pulled out of the oven. Finally,
and
it's
the
over.
the the grandmother
"Should we let
of
him in?"
Gary
Right.
is like, "I can't believe you let him go through the trial all alone."
Alone.
And they're like, "No, the people from the Toughlove group were there." And she's like, "Those people are crazy."
Right.
And then the daughter's, or Jan, the mom, is just like, "Look, you don't get it. He's all fucked up on drugs, and I'm not happy to say it, but I'm saying it, and that's how it is. So just fucking deal with it, mom." And
Then
she's just kind of like, "Ooh."
Gary
okay.
calls.
Gary calls,
And she
during
goes, "Hey,
Thanksgiving.
you can come back when your 30 days are up."
But
And he's
until
like,
then,
it's hell here. It's hell.
you don't know what
Let
it's
me
like.
out.
I had to eat like food.
I'm
in a
so
room
hungry,
alone.
yeah.
But he was
And
just
then my favorite part of the movie. This is
Oh
my
my
favorite part of the
God.
movie because
the phone keeps
the phone
ringing.
keeps ringing and they're all trying to eat Thanksgiving dinner. And they're like, well, what should we do? What should we do? And then Scott goes,
I'll just
he
take
goes, hey, don't worry, I'll take it off the hook. I thought it was like a perfect fucking moment for character right there.
Yeah, he's done.
He's
He
like,
is
ah.
finished with him.
It's like he's fucking nixed as a human being. It's fine. Off the hook you go. And then mom tells the family that Kristen OD'd 1
Whoa,
hour.
she gets another call. She hangs up on him. She gets another call, and she never
This is
comes
the best
back.
scene. It's like Kristen died an hour ago
1 hour
on
ago.
Thanksgiving. Oh God damn it! Then we go to commercial.
I guess she OD'd on cocaine.
I guess
This is such a
Maybe
weird
it was
episode.
Quaaludes, who knows?
This movie's weird and commercials are. This is a weird one.
What are these commercials?
I'm just saying the whole episode. MasterCard, and then it was Renault Toyota commercial.
which I don't even understand.
I don't even
what
get that.
was.
I couldn't even tell you. What
It was
that
like, oh, you already own a car. We're gonna make it slightly larger somehow.
It was
It's
like-
magic.
like
I was
2 inches difference.
I don't know.
It was
what's
like a
going on.
morphed into nothing. Okay. Then it was a commercial for AT&T. Then a Black & Decker futuristic wall inset kitchen bullshit.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the
Hang your
AT&T
fucking.
also had the really crazy thing where it was like a giant finger pushing down on
Oh,
buttons
yeah.
logo
Yes.
that was really
Yes.
kind of like
Yeah,
menacing.
yeah,
It was like
yeah.
boom, 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 AT&T. Like,
Right.
yeah.
And then it was that really weird thing with that guy in the chair talking about the North and the South.
Oh my god.
What the
fuck
I don't
was
know what
that?
I think it
show
was an advertisement for a
program
special
that
or
A
was
something.
pro-
pro-Confederate thing or something.
It was weird, man.
It's super weird.
That did.
And we cut right from the pro-Confederacy to Kristen's funeral.
Oh yeah. It's Kristen's funeral.
And the best line in the movie, at least now it's over.
As Kristen's mom says,
Kristen's
at least now it's over.
mother.
Wait,
Well-
she says it? I thought someone said it to her.
No, she says it.
She says it. At
She's
least
like,
now
at
it's
least
over.
now it's over.
She's
God.
like, well, that's a relief. So glad my daughter's dead.
She's at
Brutal.
peace now. And I'm at peace. We cut back to Gary's house. He's home. He is now his parents say, I love this. They say, you're going to give you a list of rules to live by. The list consists of 2 things.
They only get to the second thing.
It's true. He must sign a document saying what he
Contract,
A
signing his
contract.
wife over to the cult.
pretty much if he breaks the contract,
He's not.
he's forfeit from the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's disowned. They're not doing this. The black family's doing this. Who's
Oh,
now
yeah,
brought
right.
their
They're-
son along.
They get
The
an
ra-
they
their
get
family-
enforcer. They get an enforcer family from Toughlove.
Yeah, this is some super cult shit.
It's
This is
really
like
cult shit.
brainwashables.
It's
This is
really
like
cult
brainwashing
shit.
types of shit.
Right.
Your family leads you in a room, they leave, this other family comes in and is like, sign this fucking piece of paper. It's crazy. The son's like, I just got back from the rehab stuff. You need to do this. He doesn't explain shit. He doesn't tell him his story.
No.
He just goes, you have to do this.
Right.
And so obviously he doesn't do it.
No, he said he doesn't care. He
Yeah,
literally
rebels.
does not
He's
care.
Like, I don't give a fuck about you people.
And it was specifically he couldn't break curfew, and if he does drugs, he has to go to rehab. Yeah. We're at the principal's office. This is when we cut. It's a time cut because he's like, Gary's been gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He's been missing for 2 weeks. And we learned.
And Bruce Dern is now full on board the tough love thing. So
It's
he's
full
like,
on
yeah,
board,
it's been like 2 weeks.
But great, love it.
But he's not like I love
I know,
it, but he's
I'm
just like,
kidding.
yeah, it's been. He's not destroyed by it.
Yeah. And we learn on the side note thing that I'm still not sure how's relevant to anything that he didn't get the fucking principal job.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does
the guy-
that and he's mad about it.
Dad,
Guys,
he tells
the-
the guy to go to hell.
Yeah, he's like, just because my son's a piece of shit doesn't have anything to do with me. Fuck you. It's a really dude. The end of this movie gets really weird.
It's so
It does.
weird.
the tone, like
Well,
the
we go to
message that they're trying to
Christmas.
give to you is fucking wild.
We go to Christmas. You know, like
Uh-huh.
the mom wants to forget Christmas. She's like, "Can we just not?"
Can we not? And the dad's like, no, we got.
I love
to.
how the dad turns like 180 on this whole thing.
He's like, no, we have to. We got to act like he's dead.
And he says another great line.
Like,
This movie has a lot of great mean ass lines. Where
Yeah.
it's like, just because we have kids doesn't mean we gave up our lives.
Yes, we're
The
allowed to
fuck-
live.
That's what
We're
having
allowed
kids
to
is.
live.
God damn it.
So good.
So then Scott goes to the shitty place that Gary's been
Scott
living.
finds
He
him.
finds him somehow. It doesn't say
It
how.
does. It does.
It
He's
does?
like,
Okay.
I asked your dealer where you've been hanging.
I wrote Gary eats beans from a can.
Yeah,
in this
Gary's
scene.
living like in
Yeah.
absolute squalor, and his brother's like, just so you know, mom and dad give no fucks about what
We're
happens.
on the last
to you.
page, guys.
We're almost there.
One page.
Kurt is like dying
Kurt's
inside.
like ready to fall the fuck asleep.
the
Sorry, Kurt.
I'm not tired.
Oh, okay.
it's like even more of an insult.
I'm not sorry.
What is
He learns that Gary. He's like, "Where's your car?" I sold.
He's like, I sold it. What for?
What for? You money?
Come on. He's like, Mom and Dad don't give a fuck if you come back, just so you know. And then he goes, you're just going to end up like Kristen. And
Like, what happened with Kristen? Oh, she's dead.
The parents told the black family not to tell
him.
Oh yeah, he didn't even know.
I just love that he's like, she's dead, and he's like, and
So-
that's gonna be you.
And that's where you're headed. Slam the door. And then it's
Jesus
like
Christ.
zooming on his face. Shit.
Shit. Kristen's mom's house. Gary's mom's there. She wants Gary back. She says she wants.
She's like, I need to talk
I
to
need
somebody.
talk
I
to
feel
him.
like I don't know my husband anymore.
She's told
Blah,
not to
blah,
feel
blah.
guilty.
Yep.
It isn't. It isn't enough to just love them. You have to beat the fucking shit out of their soul. God damn it. And then we cut to Christmas morning.
Christmas morning, they're like dealing with
They're
it.
they're
just like,
they're happy. They're having like a
they're
nice
like,
Christmas
yeah,
morning.
They're like, oh, we're gonna go see your parents.
But
Yeah.
then like
Dude,
there's that
that
shot.
conversation is hysterical though
Yeah.
because it's so banal.
Mm-hmm.
It's insanely banal for
Insanely
like
banal.
5 minutes. You're just like, Christ, could the movie just be over and show me a corpse at this point?
No,
Please,
then it
God.
shows Scott picking up trash, and then like he walks out of the frame, and it's like a shot of all the presents. We didn't have like a close up, but it's Gary's presents sitting there
Yeah.
untouched.
They left presents for him in case he came
Right.
home still.
And then they're in the kitchen, and they have that conversation about the type of eggs.
Yeah, dude,
it's so
insane.
dumb.
And
End
then
the movie, please. Like
Scott shows up.
Gary.
Gary shows up.
So Gary shows up, and he says, "Sign the contract."
Here's your contract. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
to
And
rehab.
and watch, I'm gonna pour my drugs in the sink.
He's like, that's the
And then
last
his
of it.
mom, being the fucking moron she is like, "Are you really committed to this?" Like, oh, that angered me so fucking much.
I really
Dude,
wanted
He
him,
signed the contract and threw his drugs in the sink.
I wanted him.
I
wanted him to keep grabbing drugs off of him, like
Yeah.
over and over again. Like he like throw him in the sink, then he pulls some out of his sock, then he pulls some more out of a back pocket, and he keeps going, and it's just getting more and more ridiculous. And it's
Hands
eventually
a
just
rubber
like,
glove to someone
yeah,
else.
yeah. He's like,
It's
I had
deep
an
in there.
entire 2-foot bong in my jacket. I need to get rid of that.
He
like
rolls his
the
sleeve
levels
up,
of
He
yeah.
rolls his sleeve up and pulls a needle out of his
Yeah,
arm.
yeah.
Like, oh, you probably need this.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was shooting heroin when I agreed to give up all my drugs, like in the moment.
I just love the idea
Oh
that
yeah, the dad says he's like, remember, because he's like, Gary's like, is that the reason you're letting me back? And he's like, it doesn't matter what the reason is. We're like, no.
No. Yeah. He goes, did you come back? Because he's like, look, I know I probably, should feel like super sorry or something. He says something like, I'm not sure. I don't know if I feel guilty or if I love you guys. I'm not sure, or anything. I don't know if I have feelings anymore, but I'm giving this a shot. And
But
the
I'm
dad's
definitely
like,
joining this cult.
the dad's like, it doesn't matter why you're back. And I was like,
no,
yes,
it does matter.
It does, dude. Come on.
The fact that he's doing drugs because he's unhappy. You fix
you
the
figure
happiness
that out
to stop the drugs, you asshole.
They're just like, no, just
it's
pretend.
the drugs. It's just the drugs.
Just go through the motions, son. Thank God.
Son, if you could just hurry up and die so we could move on with our lives
Yeah.
like Kristen's mother did.
I don't know what I wrote here.
I wish this movie ended with like a picture of Kristen's mom like on a beach or on a cruise, like
Oh
living
my
life,
God. Just like drinking a pina colada.
hanging out on a beach.
I don't know what I
Great.
wrote.
It's different out
What
here.
I wrote looks like Scott Huge Garv.
What? They give hug. Scott hugs him. gives
Maybe,
hug.
yes, yeah.
Gary. Scott hugs Gary. Come on,
Dude,
Bob.
I was like falling asleep. Look how bad that looks.
but I can read that.
It's bad.
And
then we cut
more
to-
commercials.
it
This
cut-
is awesome.
That was what a fake out on that.
Yeah.
So we cut to a commercial. This is the best McDonald's commercial because it was.
Oh
the slogan
my-
was "The beef goes on."
Dude, I was
Beef goes-
crying
and the
laughing
beef
at
goes
that
on.
commercial.
Then it was an
was a good
Oldsmobile, a pretty psychedelic.
Now, what else was the McDonald's thing besides the?
It
and
had
the
a
beef goes
second
on?
tagline.
It's time for the best taste, or time to
It's
make the
time
great
for
taste.
a new taste
Time
or
for a
something
new
like that.
taste.
Yeah.
Then it was the weird psychedelic Oldsmobile commercial that was for the Callus.
Oh yeah, that
Oh,
was
yeah,
weird.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. Then it was Rice Krispies with the
Yes.
little guys coming to life.
Mm-hmm.
Blue collar guy
then-
mocking a white collar guy.
The end of the Lehman Brothers marketing text font saga. And then the Defiant Ones, starring Carl Weathers.
Yee.
And then we cut back to the fucking
Credits.
movie
Credits.
for the credits.
And it's just credits.
That's how they used to do it, folks. Is they
You
keep
had
you
no
on
idea
the
the
hook.
movie was over until the
No,
credits
it's genius
happened.
because they end the movie and then they're like, we can get one more commercial break. in
Yeah.
with it. Then-
I highly recommend watching this.
They're gonna want to
version
know
of the
one
movie.
thing about this movie, or
oh yeah,
they're not gonna be
you
sure.
need to watch. The commercials are easily the best part of this experience.
Yeah, I think they were marked in the YouTube video.
They might be. There's a link to this version of the movie on the. I'll put it on the actual.
Yeah,
like,
watch
post.
watch it for the fucking commercials.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you feel like hating kids, if you
Just
wanna
remember,
join a
it's
cult that
not
wants
your fault.
Children to be murdered.
Yeah, if you want to decide to sign your kids up to go to like a fucking labor camp in the
Right.
woods or something,
And
'cause
remember,
that's what this was an advertisement for.
if your kids don't conform to a 1950s Anglo-Saxon white picket fence lifestyle, then they are broken and they must be punished and pushed out of your life. And that is the truth that I will stand by.
Dude, it's like
That's like the whole ethos of this movie.
This is like Tekken. This is like the theory behind the Tekken plot. It's just like kick your kid off a mountain. If he comes back, he's strong enough to be in your family.
Or Sparta.
It's like if he's gonna fuck up, let him fuck
Yeah.
up as hard as he can. If he survives,
You push him into that
Yeah.
fucking cavern with the fucking wolf. And if he lives, then you can start loving him.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
Yeah, tough love, Spartans, tough love. Yeah.
This isn't really a movie. This is like a cult made a Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
It's a cult made a Lifetime
And
movie.
ABC agreed to show it to the masses.
I'm glad
Yeah,
you
yeah.
pointed out the cult aspect because I watched this before and I didn't really.
It just
get
felt.
that.
It just felt like it.
I just remembered that I was like, man, they were kind of really like, they were tough.
It felt like it. It felt just weird, and I was like, of course it's a cult.
You fucking kidding me, Bob?
Yes. Kurt.
Okay.
Thanks for.
Yes.
I mean, are you okay?
Yeah.
You seem mad at us.
Well, you guys tried to get me to join a cult from the 1985.
Look, man, I just
I'm
feel like
sorry.
Soundtrack was good.
Next time you come home, we'll watch a Japanese movie.
Yeah, we need to watch
all right,
the
we gotta find a copy of Crab Goalkeeper.
Crab
Crab
Goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper.
And
And
then
the
we'll watch
Funky
that.
Forest sequel.
Yeah, Crab Goalkeeper though.
Oh, it's him. You did this.
This
It's
is
not
your
my
point.
fault.
It's your
It's not
choice.
my fault. Absolutely not my fault.
God
I did
damn
everything
it.
I fucking could. Tough love.
Just because I have a podcast doesn't mean
Crab
I
goaltender
can't
next
have
time.
a
We'll
life.
see it. I'll get a copy of Crab Goaltender.
So just remember, everyone, that Scott rules and Gary rules.
Yeah, Scott is
Scott's
run-
fucking
probably
perfect.
gonna
They
run
don't
for
even
presidency.
let it be known. Is Gary okay? Is he just a fuck up forever?
Yeah,
It's
he's
just
got-
kind
He's
of like
gonna go to rehab.
I wish it was like
I hope they're gonna.
a
sell
Gary
it,
died on the
figure
way
it
to his
out.
home planet ending.
Oh man,
Gary died that very afternoon. Like, on the screen when they hug.
He was like on his last legs coming home and walking through the door.
Gary died.
Gary decided to free his parents of the burden of himself, much like Jeffrey Epstein did.
Come on, Kurt. Everybody knows Epstein didn't
He
kill
killed
himself.
himself.
Come on.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he was murdered.
Oh! I would just have liked it to say Gary died.
Gary was murdered too.
Gary died of drugs that very night. Just of drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, his
That
father
would've been
probably
great.
just like forced an overdose of Quaaludes down his throat.
Either Gary dying or Kristen's mother being like living it up. Big time.
Yeah, she's on a cruise,
Just
a
doing
palm
some
tree
big
in the
shit.
distance.
Oh my God! During the credits, it's like plays "Walking on Sunshine,"
and
and it's her mom like
it's the parents
her mo-
dancing, being
No,
part of the
it's-
cult
it's-
at their like compound.
No, it's Kristen's mom and like a posse of tough lovers, like on Rodeo Drive, buying a bunch of expensive shit, trying it on. And like that's the end of the movie. It's
going back, wearing on matching shoes to go back to their compound.
It ends with them like in a Mercedes driving through like a Jurassic Park doors that say "Tough Love" on them.
Jesus.
We did it.
Yeah, watch it for the commercials, not the content.
The
Yes.
content's not great.
Make more McDonald's commercials. Like
beef
ones
goes on.
these.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Duracell, you should be ashamed of yourself.
You've just listened to Bonus Disc, available only on Thundergrunt. Questions, complaints, and movie suggestions can be posted to facebook.com/bonusdisc. Opinions and criticisms of the hosts of Bonus Disc are 100% valid, even though they took the time to watch the movies you were too ignorant to appreciate.